النهارده معانا من ابرز النجوم الاجانب في قضية ام ام اي. معانا واحد ابتدى الام ام اي متاخر ومن اسرع الناس اللي شفناهم بيتحسنوا في اللعبه. معانا النهارده ستيفن ازيوكو. How are you, Steven?
I'm fine, thank you.
Ready?
Yes.
Steven, how did you discover MMA?
Back in Nigeria, I have little knowledge of MMA, you understand? So till I relocated to this country, that was three years ago. So when I relocated, I had, like I said, I have little knowledge of MMA back in Nigeria. So immediately I entered this country, there was a lockdown due to the COVID-19 and everything. So I was bored because the gym weren't working, nothing is working, everybody was on shutdown. So until I started watching UFC fights online, so I get to know that two of my countrymen are there.
Of course.
This is Israel Adesanya and Kamaru Usman. So
two great champions.
Yes, they are doing great. So watching their fights and their reels on social media, so I took it upon myself, like I think I can do these stuffs. I can give it a try. But those times there was still lockdown. So immediately the lockdown was lifted, I resumed back to the gym. So I contacted one of my friends that I think I want to start training kickboxing. So he introduced me to one of my coach then. So we started doing those drills. I started training. So along the line, so he introduced me to one of his friends again, which is a coach in MMA, everything together.
Yeah.
So that's how I started training with them. After like 3-4 months of training, so he told me that, Steven, I think you can do better in this division. Why not go for a tournament and see how far you can go? So then, like after 2 months of training, 3 months, so he said, okay, he booked me for a fight in a tournament. So, and when I did my first fight, I won. So from there, everything became history today.
So where did the nickname Liquid Metal come from?
Well, that was back home in Nigeria. I think I was eating actually, so it just came through my mind, like, you know, I could change my nickname. I have a nickname I was bearing right from school, you know, Emperor Stevo.
Emperor Stevo.
Yeah, so that's the nickname I was having, but you know, becoming a professional fighter, I think I need to change the name, you know, and that will match my energy. So, well, I came up with the name, the liquid metal. So later on, I decided to add the D, which is the liquid metal. So, you know, with all my training and everything, I try to go hard, you know, to correspond with the name.
So it's like being like water and fluid and stuff, but still being
liquid. You know, when metal is in liquid form, you can use it for you can form anything out of it. So I believe the name still came up more when I started MMA, you know. Going forward, I was like, well, since I'm new to this, and I believe I'm in a raw form, so I can transform myself to anything I want to be. So that's how it came. Everything just, you know, went together.
So whenever you write anything, the avatar or the emoji you always put at the end is a gorilla. Yeah. Why a gorilla?
Well, I have never said this story to anybody before. But there is a meaning behind the gorilla. You know, if you notice, I don't put just one gorilla. I always put 3 gorillas. So my great grandfather was a very strong man. He has a gorilla as a pet, as we had. Yeah. Yes, really, my great grandfather. So Ezeukwuu. You know, the Ezeukwuu on my name, my great grandfather. Yes, his name. So he has a gorilla as a pet, and he's a strong man in his own time. So that's our first gorilla. So the second gorilla is my grandfather. He's a good wrestler in his time too. Very, very strong, from the stories we heard. So, and the third gorilla is my dad. He's my hero. When I had the issues I've had with fire and everything, he's always there for me. So I always represent three of them, which is two of them is already late, my ancestors and my dad. My dad is still alive, so I use that, to celebrate them and give them their respect, for playing a role in whatever that is happening in my life right now.
That's beautiful, man.
Thank you.
So, speaking of the burns, could you tell us exactly what happened?
Well, it's a kind of a long story, but it happened June 20th, because it's a day I will never forget in my life again. So I was in a room June 20th, 2007, so like 16 years ago. So it was a mixture of kerosene and fuel. So it was missed, and I never knew it was missed. It has already been missed, which is not proper, you understand? So as I was putting it in a lantern, so it exploded, and I was sitting down where all this was going on. So the whole liquid poured on me, and I caught fire. Well, like I saw myself burning. So I have to jump up, start tearing my clothes and all that. Then making some screaming and all that. So people came out, started pouring water. So when the whole thing got fine, so I thought it won't be a big deal. So getting to the hospital, some few days and weeks, all my body was swelling up, and balls all over my legs, my leg. So we started the treatment though, but the healing was so slow. So because I got a 3rd-degree burn, you understand. So we went to a big hospital, which is one of the biggest hospitals in West Africa, UCH. So I started taking treatment, but it got to a stage. The wound, they said the wounds I incurred can't heal by themselves again. I have to go through surgeries.
Skin grafts and
grafting, plastic surgery. Yeah. So they did the first one, and then my 2 legs were folded. I couldn't stretch them, so they have to do physiotherapy and all that with the whole pain and everything, the soreness. So they carried out the first surgery, skin grafting. So after like 2 weeks, they opened it up. Some parts break down, so they have to redo it again. That's another surgery. So after the whole thing, I have to learn how to walk again. Because through the whole process, I was in the hospital for like 1 year, almost a year.
In a hospital?
In the hospital, yes. Yeah, taking treatment and all that, So special treatment and all that. So it took a long time before I left the hospital. So during those time, I started learning how to walk again through physiotherapy and all that. So later on, my left leg, I can't move it. It was like I have to drag it. So later, I started pushing myself, like I'm still young, I can still break through, So then I was a good footballer, but after the accident, I stopped playing because I couldn't run, I couldn't do anything. Then later on, I started like giving myself some training on my own. So strength and endurance training on my own. People that knows me back in the days know that I used to train. So I didn't just start my first training when I came to Egypt, you understand? So I've always been I've always tried to train myself in order. So with that, everything started moving together again before I left Nigeria, and boom, a new career.
Everything
started new again. So during the training, my only challenge was would I be able to use my legs, kicks and all that, or should I go into boxing alone? So, but through the training, I started using my legs more, and everything started adapting just like that.
So how hard was it to learn to walk again? What was that process like?
Well, it was a hard process because, when you've already started walking, running, doing all sorts of things with your legs, and all of a sudden life happens to you, So I saw that as a life challenge, and I believe that it's not going to defeat me. I have to defeat this challenge. So I went through it with a strong mind, and I was so focused. So when I started learning how to walk, it took a long time, but I was giving it my best, and the encouragement and everything, the support I was getting from my family and everybody around me, it was crazy. So, and at the end of the day, I started walking, then a step at a time. Then I started moving. Before you know it, everything started working out together. But I couldn't walk for a very long time. I would walk and stop, stuff like that. Well, I defeated it at the end of the day. Yeah.
So recently we came back from a trip in Lebanon.
Yeah.
You went and you shot a TV series there about MMA, starring a megastar. The show is gonna come out on Amazon Prime. It'll be the first Arabic production. Can you tell me about that experience?
Well, man, it was a crazy experience, but the best experience I've had so far. I believe from the beginning, when I got the call, like, Steven, come to the office, we have something for you, like you're going to Lebanon, you want to shoot a movie with a mega superstar. Like, I was like, what's going on? Okay, when I come, I'll see to it. Then getting to Lebanon, being the first time shooting a movie series and all that, I've never been in front of cameras and all the the things that go on with making a movie. So, but my team was the strongest thing I've ever known. They gave me the encouragement and all that. So on the day of meeting who I'm going to shoot the movie with, and the stunt crew, everybody was giving I could do this, even if it's your first time, just learn and be focused, everything will work together. I was a little bit nervous, in the beginning, like, can I do this? Am I going to let my team down? But in my mind, I was giving myself the encouragement that, yes, Steven, you can do this. Just go in there, do what you know how to do. This is MMA, you already have the experience. Just, put some acting and everything will be fine. So when after the whole preparing for the movie shoot and all that, going through rehearsals and all that, so I believe, okay, let's just give it a try. Then the day of shooting, everything was going on fine. I was feeling myself, and everything, the way I thought it's going to play out wasn't the way it played out, because I was more confident due to the encouraging words from my team and the production crew and all that. So everything went so smoothly for me, out of my imagination, because it's bothering me before the trip, and when we got there, like, my heart was beating so fast, like, am I going to fuck up? Am I going to do my best in this? But inside me, I have this belief and confidence in me that whatever life throws at me, I must find a way to get out of it. So, and I did my best, which the production crew and everybody, director, they fall in love with everything. I am not just a good fighter, I'm also a good actor, and that being my debut fight, it was crazy. Like, I did this, and I got a standing ovation from the crowd, at the end of the day. So I am really proud of myself with the whole thing.
And you should be, because I heard afterwards that the stunt director had comments about your acting ability and your work as a stunt performer. Can you tell us what he said?
Well, when we started from the rehearsals, I could remember I was like, am I going to be is this going to be good? You know, I really want to impress these guys, and I put on my A game to this. So when we are doing rehearsals, there's this movement that, you know, punch and you have to fall. So when that happened, I fought so hard and I did it perfectly. It was like, if you are going to do this when we are going to shoot a movie, I'm going to love you forever. I was like, okay, this is what you want. Okay, I'm going to give it my best. So in the day of shooting and the way everything was going, so he fell in love with everything I was doing, and I gave it my best, you know. So at the end of the day, he told me that out of the whole fighters, that I'm the only one that got standing ovation from the crowd. So that I did great, and everybody loved what I did, and the whole thing, that I should be proud of myself. And within me, you know, before the trip, I was having this, you know, faint heart, like, am I going to do this? Can I do this? Am I going to let people that believe in me to do this? Am I going to let them down? But after he said that words to me, so I believe at the end of the day, I didn't do bad. I did great, and I did it to the best of my ability. So, and the comments were good from everybody, my team, the production crew, the directors, you know. So I believe I gave it all my best, and it played out good for me.
So can you tell me more about the experience in Lebanon with the team? Did you enjoy yourself? Did you make new friends?
Yeah, you know, before it's all about business, you know, but the trip brought us all together. You know, I made good friends that I can say they are my family in Egypt now, because it played out very nice, and we had fun. You know, we took that, you know, combining job and fun together. You know, the day we are not shooting, we go out, we have fun, we go to the beach, you know, we go to sightseeing and all that. So we are combining it together. The day we are off, we just strive to have fun. So I really didn't feel lonely out of the trip, because everybody in the team were so amazing, and they are professionals, you know. So it's really best experience I've had so far, to be honest, going through that trip. So, and I made a lot of good friends that I call family now from that trip.
So after the trip, or at the end of the trip, everyone was on their way to the airport, and everyone made it back to Egypt except for one person. What happened? And how long did that one person stay after the trip?
Well, that one person is no other person than me. You know, it was really crazy, because I've never had that experience before. It has always been enter one country and exit, you know. So now, going from one country to another, you know, I believe everything is going to be perfect, because I just came back from Nigeria to Egypt like a month ago. So I believe my papers were still active, that I can have like multiple entry or stuff like that. So I didn't really bother my travel agent to help me, you know, make arrangements for my visa coming back to Egypt, you know. So I believe that it's going to be easier, but since I'm not a citizen, you know, it made it very hard for me. So, and I was considering, should I go to Nigeria first, or should I wait back and get my visa? So at the end of the day, I made a conclusion that I'm going to stay, you know, prepare my visa, and waiting for it. And after everyone has left, just me alone, you know, I have to wait extra 2 weeks for everything to be perfect. And thank God, at the end of the day, I made it back to Egypt, you know, to join my team and keep training, doing my training and doing my stuffs.
Do you think you're going to do more work as an actor?
As I stand now, like I said,
I'm assuming that you enjoyed the experience very much.
I did. You know, I'm trying to put it in a way you have a better understanding of what I'm trying to say. You know, all this thing happening now is within 3 years for me. You understand? Choosing new careers. You know, all of a sudden, you know, you became a professional fighter. From there, you've already become an actor. You know, so and both it was a very good experience for me, and I believe if the call comes up, I'm going to do it, you know, because it's already happening, but I'm trying to, I don't fight every day, you know, and shooting a movie, it won't be coming every week, or, you know, there will be space. So I will try and balance both careers for now, because fighting is more like a fun for me. You know, I feel good when I go into fighting and all that. So it's more of like a fun, like what I get, and now it's become my career. So now new career is growing up from acting. So and seeing my performance, I believe I can still take a career out of this. So now whatever comes, I will find a way to balance everything up. Since fighting won't be coming every now and then, and acting will be coming every now and then. So I keep training, you know, whatever comes, I believe I'll be ready for it at the end of the day.
So we see lots of fighters, when they go towards acting or towards another career, they find it very difficult to actually do the balancing out of both sides of it. How do you think you can learn from watching the way other fighters' careers went, seeing the mistakes they made, and applying that to yourself?
Well, I have always been a very focused person. You know, whatever I do, I go hard. I put it as my first priority until that is achieved. So when I started as a professional fighter, you know, everybody wrote me off. You know, that why am I doing this? But I believe in myself that I could pull this off. And at the end of the day, I did pull it off, and that career has opened some other doors for me. It has opened door for acting now, and I believe other doors will still gonna open out of this. So now going into fighting and acting, I believe if I am focused enough to achieve this great feat, being a fighter and a professional fighter and also an actor, I have to work extra hard. You understand? If I'm giving in my maybe 70%, now I have to give at least 85% of my time, you know, trying to balance everything up. And I believe with the determination and focus that really helped me within these 3 years of everything that is happening right now, I believe if I can still remain that focused, you know, not losing focus, because that's the first thing, you know, discipline and all that, you know. So if I can still keep it up, you know, with the focus and keep pushing, I believe I can pull both off. You know, maybe later on in the future, maybe I can now decide, okay, let me just stick to this for now. You know, because as you're growing, your family starts happening and all that. So you have to find a balance to everything. So as it stands right now, I believe I can still do both until it got to a stage whereby I have to choose one. So, but for now, I'm going to take whatever comes my way. Yeah.
Could you tell me about changing teams? When you changed to TKO and the backup they gave you, and what they gave you, and what is next for you?
Well, for now, you know, since the last fight which I had, Qadya 003, you know, after the fight, I went to Nigeria to see my mom. I've not seen her in 4 years. I went to Nigeria. I surprised her, stayed with her for like 3 weeks. So came back to Egypt, and 2 weeks coming back to Egypt, I got called up for this acting that we just finished. So the whole thing took extra like 2 months from me. So I have been out of training, and you know, being out of training and all that made me really add some weight. You know, I became more heavier. So right now I have already started cutting weight, you know, to make weight for my fight. So I believe everything is going on fine for now. Yeah, everything is fine at the moment.
So tell me about this upcoming fight with Omar Sabri.
From the little information I have about him, he is more of a grappler, and every grappler I've met, I didn't see much to do with me, and me as a striker, I believe I can strike him. And talking about the fights, it's not been like I'm being boastful, but watching his fights, his previous fights, and making my conclusion, I think is a walk through. You know, what I just need is just to make weight and go in there and cause some chaos.
Okay, so do you have a prediction for the fight?
The fight, I believe that this is going to be my first clean knockout.
KO clean.
Yeah, straight up KO, and it's going to come early. So we will see how it goes. I've been putting in the work. I've been putting in the effort. You know, getting better every day, because each day I train. Each day I do stuff I do. You know, I get stronger. I get more experience and all that. So it's really helping me a lot. So I'm not trying to write him off, but in the cage, we're going to see who comes out victorious at the end of the day. That's the deal.
You're starting to get popularity here in Egypt. Last time we saw you fight, there were people chanting your name. Do you think it'll be even bigger next time?
Yeah, as they stand right now, you know, I've gained more popularity, like you said. Yes, a lot of people know who Steven is right now. When it comes to MMA fans in Egypt, at least, let me just say, like, let me not exaggerate. I believe 60% of the MMA fans in Egypt, they know my name, they know they've seen my fight and all that. Qadya wasn't the first organization I had my fight. So, and now being an actor, you know, I gained new followers and new fans and all that, you know, so, and new connections, you know. So I believe with this, if I tell them that I'm having a fight, okay, come around and see me fight, I believe they are going to honor me and be present. So it's more of, you know, people coming together and seeing my fights now. It will keep growing. The fan base will keep growing, but I'm not in a rush with that. You know, I let my work speak for me. So that's what I believe. But I believe in my last fight, the turnout is going to be bigger than what happened in Qadya 003. I promise you.
Nice. Could you tell me about training at Amr Meher Academy?
Only know Team Zach and TKO. So both of them was in my corner last time. I had my fight in Qadya 003. So, and as it stands now, like I said, after the fight, I've been away, you know, from one trip to another. So just resuming training right now, full camp. So, and they both still on my corner for now, because I'm still taking instructions from them. So, but I'm still trying to make my final bus stop, let me put it that way, you know, out of the two teams, they are my good friends, you know, and I've made a lot of friends from the two teams, you understand. So for now, I believe they still got my back on this upcoming event that's going to take place.
So something I heard about is that you are married now. This is something very recent that happened. Could you tell us about this new step in your life, and also could you tell us about how this came to be?
Well, the whole thing started some months ago. You know, she has already been someone I've known way back. So we didn't just connect. So we started way back, but we are just friends, nothing attached to it. So after we left school, we went our separate ways, and a few years later, we got connected again through social media. So we started talking. Then me being away from my family for 4 years, you know, and her coming in now. So I decided to make everything to visit everybody at the same time, you know. So going back home a few months ago, after surprising my mom, we get to meet and we make the final. We've already started making the arrangements. Then the introduction happened. back then. So, and I have to go back to work. So I have to leave. But the remaining necessary stuff to do, my presence is not fully needed to be there because I've done the part my presence needed to be there. So it happened October 21st, 2023. Yeah. So that's when the final traditional marriage happened. You understand? So it's a step.
So you were not there for your wedding.
No, you won't call it a wedding. You understand? It's just it's
official marriage.
Official, yes. So it has happened. Then the main wedding will come up. That's when I will be present surely, and family members, everybody will be there to celebrate with me and friends. So that's going to happen in a couple of months.
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you very much. So it really gave me I really want to stay focused. You understand? It comes to a stage in life, most especially when you started gaining fame and all that, trying to settle down. It's going to be a little bit hard because you believe everybody coming your way. So I decided to do it earlier. It's not really that I did it earlier considering my age and everything. So I decided, okay, this won't stop me from chasing my dream, and this won't stop her from chasing her own dream too. I needed a support, I needed a helper. So moving forward in life, so that's why I took that bold step. Some people were like, is this not going to affect your career? I said, no. If you are focused, if you know what you are doing, I don't think it's going to affect it. Instead, it's going to boost everything that's already been happening in your life. Now you have a helper, someone that will really there for you, care for you, So that's why I took that step. So, and I will never regret taking this step. I believe so. Yeah.
Nice. Sivo, I noticed when we were in Lebanon, you were the least one who was eating. You barely ate anything. How did you end up gaining weight there?
Well, I stick to same meal. It got to a stage they already know that, okay, this is your regular. What I consume most is fish, chicken, fruits and vegetables, and rice, but not in big quantity. So that's what I stick to. So I was consuming protein, more protein and veggies and little carbs. So and it was good for me. So, but I didn't know, maybe being out of training, because I always at work myself. Like I train like 6 times in a week. Maybe just one day off. It will be very hard for me to keep gaining weight or burning so much calories training. So, but on that trip, I was barely training. Maybe some workouts in the morning and go for your job and come back at night, midnight mostly. So you just have to sleep. So I believe that really helped in me gaining weight. Things you've been doing and all of a sudden you're not doing it. You're just eating, sleeping, waking up, no much exercise. So I believe that's what really added in me gaining a lot of weight. But that really made me believe that I believe I have a good shot in lightweight, because since my walk around weight has always been 70 to 72, and all of a sudden I was in 81 kg. So I believe, because fighting in lightweight, the biggest challenge I had is the weight difference, because I always feel, like I always said, I always feel their weight when they are on top of me. So, but I sparred with few people that I know when I was, my walk around weight was 72. I sparred with them recently, and I believe I saw that they hardly do anything with me, even on the ground.
You felt a big difference?
Yeah, I felt a big difference. I could easily push them away and all that. Something I haven't been doing when my walk around weight was 72. So that made me believe that weight difference is really paramount in this job. You understand? So right now, I have a goal I want to achieve, and that goal is becoming a double champion.
I was just about to ask you about that.
So that is my goal. So right now, I still have to stick to featherweight. I don't mind cutting the weight. You understand, making weight and going in there. My main aim is to be a champion in featherweight. Then I could be able to call out whoever that is holding that belt in lightweight when the time comes.
Speaking of the featherweight belt,
okay,
we now know that Asim Ghanem and Ahmed Tariq are going to fight for that.
Okay,
belt.
yes.
Who do you think wins, and how do you think you match up with the winner?
Well, like I said, from my last fight in featherweight, you know, I saw something different, you know, and that difference is in weight different, you know. I felt more comfortable, you know, trying to hold back the takedowns and all that. I was fighting back and I was standing my ground and all that. It's something that that wasn't been I don't usually do this in lightweight, because once they get hold of me, I'm going down, they're taking me down. So which is different in lightweight. And every lightweight I've sparred with and trained with, they don't really have that much ground. Even if you're a grappler or something, they don't have that really taking me down and holding me down there or trying to do their submissions, you understand. So I believe I have a better chance in that. And talking about two of them coming together to fight for the title, I've seen their fights. Asem is more of a striker. He also has a background in grappling and all that. So, but Tariq, man, is good in grappling, in ground game. So if the fight don't go down, I believe Asem has a better opportunity of becoming a champion. But if it goes down with Tariq, you know, I don't know what is going to happen that way. You understand? But I wish whoever that's going to be a champion, I wish him best of luck. But they should just be warming the belt, because I'm coming to get it. Yes.
So whoever is in front of you when the time comes, if you fight for that belt, the result is the same?
Well, you know, like I believe the experience I've gained at this moment, I don't have that experience 6 months ago. I don't have that experience 3 months ago. And before I finish this camp, having my fight, there are still going to be a lot of experience, a lot of skills, a lot of improvement. So going into that fight, I know I still have some months to train and all that. So I will be because every day I keep evolving, you understand. So I believe before that fight happens, I must have gained a lot of more experience and all that before the fight happens. And I believe when it happens, it's a sure knockout.
Sivo, is it true that you used to train in the desert? And could you tell me about that?
Yeah, that idea came up. I have some friends, they're footballers here in Egypt, and two happen to be from Nigeria. So we got connected, and they told me about the desert training that they used to go and do, you know. I said, okay, since it's all about strength and endurance, we'll give it a shot. So they took me there. So we had a training, a section that day. I got home the next day. I couldn't stand up because of my legs were so sore and all that. So after like 2 days, I got better. I was like, okay, I think I'm going to give this more trial. So I started going for the training. So, and I saw a lot of improvement from that. It's like doing things out of the norms that everybody used to do. So I found out that training in desert with sand and all that it gives me a different feel, you understand, from the regular I used to do. So I felt and I loved every bit of it. So it was really nice, and I still keep going, and it's not really too far from where I live, so it was just like a stone throw to the place, and it's all good. Yeah.
Perfect. Steven, this has been a pleasure. Hopefully next time I see you, you'll be sitting in front of me with not just one but 2 belts.
Surely, inshallah.
Inshallah. Best of luck, Stevo.
Thank you very much.